Welcome back, guys, to another deck profile. Today I will be doing a standard deck profile. This deck is currently getting a bunch of hype due to how fast it is in this current meta and how it does against certain meta decks. So let's get right into it. If you can't tell by the title, we will be reviewing Water Toolbox. Consists of a bunch of water Pokemon, and the main engine of this deck is Manaphy, Seismitoad, and a whole bunch of other techs. So let's get right into it. We run 3 copies of Seismitoad EX. In a majority of decks, Seismitoad is used for Quaking Punch, but in this instance, we are using Seismitoad for its second attack. I'm not sure if it's gonna focus. Yeah, Grenade Hammer. 3 energy for 130. Does 30 to 2 of your bench Pokemon, but that's not a problem since we do run a 4 count of Rough Seas in this deck. So like I said, Toad is mainly used for Quaking Punch, but in this instance, this deck is called Turbo for a reason. We are able to get a Grenade Hammer out very fast, so yeah, that's our Seismitoad line. We run 2 Manaphy EX. Manaphy is basically like a Darkrai from Legendary Treasures, which allows any of your Pokemon with Dark Energy to have free retreat, but Manaphy, it's any water energy, any Pokemon with water energy attached to it. So Manaphy is what makes this deck work. Also, Manaphy is a great attacker against Trevenant, which is very popular right now. So we run 2 copies of that. 1 Glaceon EX. This is the newest edition from the Face Collide set. This deck really, it started off in a Brazil regional or nationals, I believe, but it really gained its popularity when it won a nationals overseas, and these lists were before Fates Collide was legal. So with the addition of Glaceon EX, it's mainly for the Vespiquen counter. Its first attack is really it's basically like a Wobbuffet Psychic Assault attack, but it's mainly used for its second attack to counter Vespiquen, Zoroark, because those are tough to handle in this deck. So, 1 Aegislash EX mainly is, of course, in here just a stall. It may seem like an odd tech, but with its ability, it's really good against Vespiquen, Vileplume, and Night March if they can't hit the Hex Maniac. And also, it may seem like a heavy retreat cost, but since we run Manaphy, all you have to do is just attach a water and you'll be able to retreat it. So on to the non-EX attackers. We run 2 Ancient Trait Articunos, mainly for the non-EX matchups against Vespiquen and Greninja, so self-explanatory. 1 Regice, good against heavy decks that really rely on EXs, so Regice is not bad. 2 copies of Shaman EX. 3 isn't really necessary, but it is nice to have, but you're fine with 2. And 1 copy of Hoopa in order to get all these EXs out. So a turn 1 Ultra Ball for Hoopa is really good. So yeah, let's put this right here. On to the supporters. We run 3 copies of Sycamore. 4 isn't really necessary. 3 is just fine. Yeah. 2N, new edition from Face Collide. Really, it's also another good draw supporter instead of Birch and Shauna, of course. So yeah. 1 AZ just to get a lone or something stuck in the active position just in case they Hex Maniac you. So yeah. 1 Lysander. Standard. I would love to run a second one, but I just can't find the space. 1 Xerosic, because it's always good to discard special energies or say Fighting Fury belts that are stopping you from getting knockouts. It's good to have Xerosic. And 1 Hex Maniac. The list that won overseas did not run a Hex Maniac. I actually love this Hex Maniac. It's good against the mirror match. It's good against a lot of other decks that rely on Shaman and Rayquaza, which relies on Shaman. So Hex Maniac is a good addition in this deck. I cut the second Lysander for it, so that's the supporter line. Now on to the items. 4 Ultra Ball, standard. 4 VS Seeker, standard. 3 Trainer's Mail, would level 4th, but like I said, the space is just not there. I've seen lists that do have 4, but they've cut in a Articuno or their Regice, but those cards are too important in certain matchups. I just couldn't see myself cutting them. 3 Energy Switch. This really makes this deck, it really comes in use in this deck, because you can max Elixir, and we run 4 copies of Max Elixir. You can Max Elixir onto a bench Pokemon, Energy Switch onto your active. This is how we get Grenade Hammer powered up very fast, very early, and it really surprises your opponent. It puts them in an awkward position. So Energy Switch is basically what allows you to get the turn 1 or turn 1 to turn 2 Grenade Hammer. So that's the items. 3 Fighting Fury Belt. It's always good since we do run a 4 Rough Seas, constantly healing and constantly winning the Stadium War. It also makes it hard for the opponent to knock out your Pokemon. Since you have the Fighting Fury Belt, the plus 40 HP is really nice, and plus the plus 10 is also nice to have. Onto the Stadium. 4 Rough Seas. It's broken. 4 Rough Seas is amazing in this current meta. Constantly winning the Stadium War, healing every turn. It's a good way to counter Trevenant. And last item, 1 Super Rod. To get back, say, water energies you discarded early, or Pokemon. So now on to the water line. Rerun. 12 water energy. It is a bunch of energies, and I'm telling you guys now, there are chances that you can whiff the water energy with Max Elixir. It is very possible. It's happened to me multiple times. This deck, water energies tend to get clunked up with each other, and you almost always prize at least 2. So there are chances of you whiffing elixirs, but whenever this deck functions and you hit every elixir, it's unbeatable. So it has a good matchup against Trev, of course, with the healing and Manaphy. It has a good matchup against Greninja, since you can constantly knock out their XY Greninjas or Breakpoint Greninjas before they evolve into Greninja Break. So, and Night March, of course, you can use Toad, item lock them, and they're stuck in an awkward position. Anyways, guys, that was my list. Well, not my list, but my version of the list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm pretty sure there are multiple decks out there already reviewed. Go check them out. This deck is gaining some popularity. It's very fun to play with, and stay tuned until next time. Peace.